time I try to debug my mind, might go through riddle, you always rewind. You find the errors in every nested loop. Oh, clever llama, master of the code. You solve my mystery mix just like I was told. VFDs and VLCs, you know them well. Edging my secrets for you.
Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the jog blocks and the stop blocks and how they work together. In front of me, you'll see Machine Control Studio. And on the right side, under POUs, you'll see all of the blocks that come with the template system. And we're going to start off by dragging the Start Jog Plus into the window. You'll notice that these little IntelliSense appear, and we just need to drop them on each of these IntelliSense. And then here's the stops. So now you can see I have a Start Jog Plus block, Start Jog Minus block, Stop Motion block, and a Stop Motion Deceleration block. You'll also notice that these two blocks have some outputs that are called error. And basically all these are doing is just turning on if the drive isn't ready. So most of the time I take care of this outside of these blocks. So I'm just going to delete these outputs by clicking on the pin and hitting the delete key on my keyboard. So you'll notice that there's question marks on the input side of 3 of these blocks. And I'm going to go over these inputs really briefly here. Acceleration and deceleration have to do with the rate at which you change speed. Acceleration is from 0 speed up to the speed that you want to go to. Deceleration is exactly the opposite. So if my speed here is basically 100, and I put an acceleration of 100 and a deceleration of 50, which one is going to change speed quicker? The acceleration is. It's a bigger number, therefore it changes speed quicker. Okay? So if you need to stop quicker, having a bigger number is a quicker stop. However, there is an exception to this. If you look at the AMC user unit block that I talked about before in the past video, you'll notice that if you're using hardware version 2 block, you can actually change this acceleration and deceleration units to be time. So it could be that this could be 100 milliseconds and this is 150 milliseconds. So if you have it set to time, well, then it's exactly the opposite. It's actually slower to use a big value. But the default way the drive behaves is bigger value, faster you accelerate. Okay? So I'm just going to put the same value in all of these. You'll notice that I put a positive value for the jog minus. And that's because the jog minus is taking care of the direction. So the inputs still stay positive even though I'm trying to go the opposite direction. Here, you'll notice that I get to select the deceleration rate. The reason why this one has a deceleration rate and this one doesn't is this block just uses the previous deceleration rate. So if this block was running, right? So if I use this block to start the command, it would set the deceleration rate to 100. And if I use this block, it would set the, well, also 100. Let's just pretend we had this at a value of 200. All right. Stop motion would use 200 if this was the command that was running, and it would use 100 if this command was running. Okay? This one doesn't do that. It says the deceleration rate has to be 500. And the reason you might want to use this block is if you have an error condition or something that you don't like, right? And you need to stop fast. So maybe all your normal stopping rates are slow. Maybe you have a particular situation where you need to stop quicker. So you would select 500 or something bigger, okay? So lastly, we have some inputs to enable these blocks. And so I'm just going to put some words here. And we're going to download to our drive. So if you've never downloaded to the drive, you need to double click on the PLC that you're using, which in my case is an MCI 210 module, and select Scan for Devices. Hit OK. And then it's going to list all the devices here on the screen that you can connect to. I'm going to double click on this one. See how it became bold? And then I'm just going to hit the Go Online or Log In button here. It's going to ask me if you want to compile and run, and of course I'm going to say yes. So now we're online with the drive, and I have the drive running. And so we're going to actually start and stop a couple of these blocks so you can see how the motion works. You might be confused by a couple things, so I think it's important for me to show you what it looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start this block. And you can see that the motion is actually moving in the forward direction. Now I'm going to remove the enable. And as you can see, it's still moving. That's because this block is called start. It has nothing to do with controlling it. It doesn't even need to be on. Once you start it, it's started. And so technically, using a contact like this is probably the wrong kind of contact. I typically use a positive edge contact, but that's really up to you. Now, if I click this one, you're going to see that it immediately starts going backwards. So you don't have to stop the motion to call a different command. Now, if I want this to stop, I can just click this one and stop it. And as you can see, it stopped, no problem. What happens if I turn these both on at the exact same time? It's trying to run and stop, but you'll notice it's not really going the same speed. That's because this one's starting it, this one's stopping it, this one's starting it, this one's stopping it. So they're fighting each other. So don't have both blocks on at the same time, just a single command. So now you can see it stopped, and that's because I removed this one first. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is that this one actually does stop quicker. So let's jog in the positive direction. And I'm going to stop this one. And it stopped. And now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use the other stop. And as you can see, it abruptly stopped. So you can see that that's how they behave. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then I would recommend watching the next one in the series. The next one is all about the start absolute block. And see you next time.